We have PFF projected win totals for all 32 NFL teams. Do you want to guess at which team they are projecting to win the most games this year?
Which team they're projecting to win the most games? The San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco's actually second.
Kansas City?
The Chiefs. They're still projecting the Chiefs to win the most games. They have made this, they have gone all the way to the 100,000th place. Do you want me to just like round these to the hundredths place?
Yeah, I think that's what you should
like
do.
Two decimal points is enough?
Yeah, something
Okay.
point something something.
They are projecting for the Kansas City Chiefs 10.91 victories.
11.
Okay, we can round to 11 if you'd like.
Basically, they're
10.91,
giving you
basically 11
wins.
wins. Their total at FanDuel right now is 11.5. San Francisco, you correctly identified as one of the top teams. They are projected to win 10.66 games.
Okay, and they won 12 last year.
I believe they did.
They did, 12 and 5.
Thank
It's
you.
in front of me, Carm.
Do you
I
know,
pulled it up.
Do you know who's projected? The only other team that's projected to win 10 or more. No.
Detroit.
Detroit is projected to win 9.71.
I have Detroit. Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore, 10.22. 10.22 victories.
They were 13 and 4 last year.
The Eagles are next at 9.8.
And they crapped the bed. They got the 10 wins last year, and they absolutely crapped the bed.
Yeah. Then your Bengals round out the top 5. I'm surprised to see the Bills at 9.7. The Bengals are at 9.77, by the way. Bills at 9.72. Then the Lions. Then the Cowboys.
And the Bills last year at 11.
They lost a lot, though.
11 and 6. They have lost a lot.
Then the Packers.
And they had to win 5 games at the end of the year. They were 6 and 6, and then won the last 5 to go 11 and 6.
They got hot at the
remember
end.
It? Yes.
I do. Then the Packers, Yerk, at 9.22 victories.
And there seem to be like they've got a progression because they only won 9 games last year. They actually expect them to win more.
Slightly more.
Yeah.
Dolphins at 9.1.
They won 11 games last year.
Falcons also at 9.1.
The offensive line, the quarterback coming into play. I don't think it's going to be the same effect Tom Brady had on Tampa when he went there. I think that team was much more ready to win and had a better defense.
I agree with that.
But their quarterback coming there from Minnesota does give them a legitimate guy behind the center. If you thought that the quarterback was the biggest problem they had, I still think their defensive 2 guys in the middle are going to cause them concerns the whole year.
I think you could be right.
Yeah.
You're doubly right. You're right about the defense maybe still giving them problems on that line.
But Cousins
and
is
you're right
a
about
wonderful,
Cousins.
Yeah, he's
like,
a wonderful addition.
elevating that offense.
Right, and he's going to elevate the offense, but how much? How much will he offset against the fact that he might not get the ball because of the weakness of the defensive line?
Any concern that a player that old with a lot of mileage coming off of an Achilles, or is medicine and training so good these days that shouldn't be a problem?
It's a 100% legitimate concern. Okay. Yes. Without Cousins, they become a very average team.
Yeah,
that's
for damn sure.
That's fair. And you could say that about a lot of teams around the NFL if they lose their starting quarterback. They become very average.
I believe I've talked about this with you guys. I know Mike North and I have discussed it on the Odds Couple, Yerk. I sometimes I don't know why I do this, and I do it very sparingly. I don't like betting the Bears much because you have to remove emotion. You have to take your heart out of betting if you're really going to do it to make any sort of long-term profit. And let's face it, that can be hard to do, right?
It's got to be non-emotional.
It can be hard to do as Bears fans. And
you want me to guess what they have the Bears at? I have not seen.
Did I tell you I did bet the Bears over?
Yes,
which
you
again,
did.
I rarely ever touch Bears totals. I don't bet the Bears much. Period. It's just very rare. I think I let the emotion get the best of me. Yeah, go ahead.
8.47.
They have the Bears at 8.68 victories.
I'm in the neighborhood.
You are so close.
In the neighborhood.
I bet over 8.5. They have him at 8.68. Not a lot of wiggle room.
Not a lot of wiggle room.
I just need him. Too bad they can't win 0.6 of a game. That's not going to be possible. 0.7 of a game. That won't be possible.
Yeah.
I need them to get to 9, and I'm good. I have it at a minus $1.40. It's out to about $1.60, $1.65. No, so I got a little bit of better of the juice, a little bit lower on the juice. But I am very much looking at a lot of the projections now that they're coming out. The Football Power Index recently released their projected totals.
FPI.
Yes, and now you have PFF, and I'm seeing a lot of 8.5, 8.4, 8.3, and I'm like, oh boy, did I Did I let the emotion get the better of me here, Yerk?
I think you realized the strength of schedule.
Do I have a good bet?
I think you took a look at how they played last year with a quarterback that was probably about 60% of what a quarterback, maybe 67% of what a quarterback should be. I give you 2/3 of it for Justin Fields. If this kid is anything he's supposed to be, remotely close, there's no way in God's name he could be worse than Justin Fields as far as reading zone defenses and making plays against his own defense. Okay, he's as good or better against man-to-man, and he's mobile enough to get out of trouble if he has to. He may not be as mobile as Justin Fields, but he's mobile enough if he gets into trouble and center starts snapping the ball over the head and Tevin Jenkins decides he wants to whiff against the Green Bay Packers. So I think you've got yourself a safe bet. But when I tell you the headway's got to be made early, they can get out to a hot start, Carm, 6-3. Okay?
I'd feel pretty good
And
at
then
that
they're
point.
working their ass off. But it's got to be done then. If I'm going to get to my 10 or 11 that I expect, they've got to do their work early.
Like if they're 1-3 in the first 4, I'm going to be scared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be
You'll
good.
be dropping big dookies.
And, we're going to be questioning a lot. I don't think they're going to start 1-3. That'd be pretty
don't
bad
either.
for the
I don't
expectations on this team. Any Bears fans out there, have you made the bet? Have you bet the over? Are you second-guessing it all, or do you feel great about it? When you do see a lot of the projections just sort of have them hovering around 8 victories or so, maybe out to 8.5. 312-332-3776 is the number. And if you don't bet, that's fine. But if you think it is a safe bet, if you like over 8.5 victories for the Bears,
All games in the NFL are tough.
That's true.
Texans at Texans is going to be a tough game.
Yes.
The Rams at home, I feel pretty good about, but the Rams are a quality team. They qualified for the playoffs. You weren't a believer.
No, you
was.
were. Yeah.
Rams. Sorry, though. Titans, not good. Colts, they're okay.
We'll see what Richardson's
Colts are
like over a full season.
And he may not be there by the third game of the year. He
Might
got
not
hurt
be.
early last year.
Yeah.
Panthers stink.
Yes.
The Jaguars are rotten. Okay, they are. They're rotten.
You
They
think
finished
so?
the year rotten last year.
I know, but I
just
wouldn't
because you pay your quarterback $1 gazillion, and I like Trevor Lawrence too, doesn't mean they found a way to win yet.
I know, but I wouldn't say they're rotten.
All right, Commanders,
Not very good, but
Stinky.
slightly intriguing.
stinky. Cardinals, terrible. Patriots,
Terrible. Now they're terrible.
there you go, terrible. So those are the games that I'm looking at where I've got the Rams being a team that's going to be tough, but we got them at home, and the Texans being a little bit of tough. After that, Carm, there's nothing intimidating on that schedule. Nothing.
So you mentioned the strength of schedule, and we're going over some of the games. PFF has the Bears' strength of schedule ranked 30th in the NFL,
That's where it
the
belongs.
third easiest.
Yeah, that's where it belongs.
The only schedules that are easier right now, according to their projections, are the Saints, who come in at 31st, and then the easiest schedule to the Atlanta Falcons. So back to your point about what Cousins could do to that offense, especially with an easy strength of schedule. The toughest strength of schedule in the league, Jurko, belongs to the Cleveland Browns.
Because they've got to play within the division.
That division's tough. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's within the division.
And number 3, the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
The 4th team, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
That division.
There you go.
Let's guess the Bengals. They get the benefit of
the last
place
place
schedule. It's still
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah.
But the last place schedule really only turns out to be a couple games, and they're playing in a brutally tough division.
Yes.
So 312-332-3776. Nick is in Bartlett. Hey, Nick.
Nicky the Fish.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Long-time listener, second-time caller. I called earlier last week, so.
Second time caller.
We've inspired you.
Yeah. So I actually heard you guys mentioning about the win totals right before the draft. I want to say a couple days before. I ended up grabbing a couple of my cojones. I placed a $1,300 wager because the spread was -130, or the VIG was -130. 1,300 over 8.5.
Wow, look at you, baller, with the nice bankroll.
That's right.
Atta
He's
boy.
feeling
So-
it. He's
I'm with
feeling
Nicky.
it.
Nicky, let's go, right, baby? Let's go.
You got to think about it this way. I mean, it's like just like fantasy. This is a year. This is a season-long bet. So really, if you think about it, it's you're looking at under $100 a week.
Yeah, well,
That's 100%
listen,
true.
Nick bet more than I did. I'll tell you that. He's got a nice bankroll. Good for you, Nick. I hope we win. I hope we cash on that. And he got an even better price than I did because he got it at -$1.30. I got it at I can't remember if it was $1.40 or $1.45. It was less than $1.50, and it's out to like minus 165 now. Joey G's in Melrose Park. What up, Joey?
Carm, your bankroll is not as good as his.
I didn't bet 1,000 on the Bears. Listen, I would never bet 1,000. I wouldn't bet a dime on the Bears under any circumstance. I don't think, because of what I said. It's hard to sometimes remove the emotion. No, there's no $1,000 wager being made on the Bears total. Not for me.
So you don't want me to dig the bag out of the yard, do you?
No, don't.
Okay, I'll leave it there. You know where it's at. Anyways, Yerk, I'm going 13-4. They win the division. They stay
13-4.
healthy.
I like it. I like it.
Boy,
If
you
they're
believe
if they're
that,
gonna
go bet that one now.
If they're going to go crazy, remember when they went
Get about 3 or 4 to 1 on the Bears.
what was it when they went 12-4 the other time?
The last time they won the division, yeah.
Yeah, the last time they went 12-4. They started 3-3, and then all of a sudden got to go on. They went on a run.
Yep.
This team is it could possibly poised for one of these situations. They get out of the gate,
Correct.
they get confidence, then they're playing better than they played at the beginning of the year.
So from last to first.
There's a possibility of that.
All right,
Now,
Joey,
I
make the wager, Joey.
I put his, you'd get odds if you put over 12.5. So what are the odds if you wanted to bet over 12.5 on the Bears? You'd be getting something
God.
massive,
Oh,
right?
my God.
Well, that's the odds that you would deserve. You would get. You put $100, you get what, 6.5, 650, maybe 700.
You'd be getting nice odds.
I like that. That's the wager right there. But what you're comfortable with? Like for me, I'd go over 10.5. I feel 11's the number. I'd go over 10.5. I'd add 2 victories to that, and then I'd be comfortable putting not 1,300, but I'd be able to put $500-600 on the Bears.
Yeah?
I got a bankroll, but I got a limit. I got a discipline limit that I like to just stick to when I do some gaming, Carm,
Which
play
is
some
good.
cards.
Which is good.
Got a limit. If I get past that limit, it's over. It's done.
You would bet over 10.5?
Over 10.5.
You'd
Carm.
get plus $1.90.
Is that it?
Over 7.
The odds aren't worth it. I'd keep it down at 8.5 then. The odds aren't worth it. 190?
190. Over 12.5 plus 750.
Yeah, see, now it gets a little goofy.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yep.
I had it at 6-1. They got it at 7.5 to 1.
We'll
I like
grab,
that.
yes, well, you were close. We'll grab a few more calls here on this if you want to join us at 312-332-3776. Plus, we played Adam Schefter sound yesterday. We have some new Adam Schefter sound to play from this morning on Unsportsmanlike, talking about the league expanding its schedule. It's all coming up. We'll be right back.